One of the concerns of the current administration in Lagos State is the improvement and expansion of healthcare and housing infrastructure in all divisions of the state. This will make the accessibility of quality healthcare services and housing by residents timely and feasible. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu ensured its possibility by inaugurating a Maternal and Childcare Centre, School of Anaesthesiology, and a 252-unit housing project in Badagry. Welcome to the Governor This Week. I am Lekan Onabanjo. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, as part of fulfilling his promise on the provision of quality health care, detailed infrastructural development for Lagosians, completed and delivered the 110-bed Maternal and Childcare Centre, School of Anaesthesiology in Badagry General Hospital, and 252 units of two-bedroom housing project in Idale. He also flagged off the construction of 5.5-kilometre-long hospital road to create easy access to the General Hospital and the new housing estate in the town. The governor said the projects were part of his administration's efforts at making development in Badagry even considering other areas of the state.
I'm truly delighted and excited that after two postponements, we actually can come to this wonderful place and commission today a Lagos State affordable housing scheme in Idale, Wendako in Badagry. A demonstration of our commitment to the provision of affordable, decent, and safe housing in all parts of the state. This housing scheme that is being inaugurated today comprises of 252 modern homes, while we have been able to complete several others last year in Igbokushi, in Lekan, and all of the environs in Alimosho the other day. But we're excited that we can come to Badagry today. And like the MD of EcoStone, so this is a real demonstration of what PPP, when we collaborate also with the private sector, what it can bring to us. Like he had said, this is the third of its type in the whole of West Africa. It is indeed, looking at it even externally, you will know that it's a very resilient building. You will know it's an eco-friendly building. You can see the environment, you will know that it's been properly thought out, it's been properly laid out, and it's been properly built. Indeed, we can commend and thank the partnership that the Ministry of Housing has with EcoStone Nigeria, and I think we all deserve a round of applause. And I think Mr. Sami had mentioned it. For us, it's about also putting money, rightfully. Right. This is an estate that will indeed reduce the cost of maintenance. You can see what we've said to ourselves will not come to any of our estate if it is not lit up, if it is not pipe-on water, and these that come with everything. Everything that needs to be completed has been completed in this estate. And you can see that clearly it's been well finished. But what is in the quality of finishing if our people cannot afford it? And so it has come also with the lowest of costs pricing. And like I did mention to them, we will take everything that has not been taken and we will push everything into our rent-to-own long-term scheme. This, we do not want people to pay an amount. It's under 10 million, it's about 8 or 7. We don't even know the right price that will bring it down. But it is indeed affordable. And even for the affordability, we want people to be able to pay over a longer period of time. As a government, while we've been elected here is to make life easy and to make it comfortable for our citizens. And so we're not going to push you under the pressure and ask you to write us a single check. No, we will work with you, we will sit with you, and we'll ensure that over the period, if it is 10 years, if it is 15 years, we will sit with you and we will ensure that you have a decent home and you will pay gradually so that you can have the comfort and the ambience that is deserving of it. And so for us, this is just the starting of a long relationship. The phase 2 of this project will be across the road there. And I've asked them that once we complete this, we should just move to the phase 2. And the phase 2 has waterfront. This is another shoreline. This is staying in Ikoyi of Badagry or staying in Victoria Island of Badagry, which will have single dwelling and all of it. And we will ensure that it's also cost efficient like this it's affordable, and it's accessible. And on the road as well, you can see that it's motorable. We're also going to try and finish up this road. So what are we about? We're about ensuring that we deliver quality to our citizens. We're about ensuring that what we promise our citizens, what we promise Lagosians, we are continuing to meet it. And after this place, we're completing a 660 in Igoegodo very, very shortly. We're also completing work in Ajara Badagry. It's just down the road here, where we have 420 units. I want to charge, I'm not congratulating them yet. I'm sure they have other ones in Igbobo Bayeku, about 360. We have another one in Shogotedo, about 744. We have another one in Ibeshe that we have pushed LSCPC and Ministry of Housing, about another 420. We are hoping that all these houses will be completed before the middle of this year, and we can go out and hand over the keys to our citizens. So what we're about is to ensure that whilst we create that environment for our people to be homeowners, because it's one of the real essence of where we're living. Everybody wants a place to put his head at the end of the day. And this 252 two-bedroom bungalow, with each and every one of them having 2 parking lots, not one person is disturbed by the other. All the roads are being interlocked. There is water, there is light, there is ambient space for their children to play. And we're creating that eco space where people can live and also ensure that they live in a decent environment.
Health, they say, is wealth. Is what touches everything that we stand for. And all of our modest improvements in our health facility will amount to nothing if we don't put infrastructure to where it's meant to. And like the commissioner said, it's really not to come and commission an empty edifice. I said to him that we will come to your hospital once it has gone live, once it has started treating patients, so that all the T's will have been dotted, all the T's will have been crossed, and all the I's will have been dotted. And you can see the testimonial. They've treated over 3,000 patients here in less than 2 months. Because I said to him that we need to test all the facilities that we have that is working, and it is working well for our citizens. And you can see all the children, all the great babies that this facility were handing over to you, what they had started doing. And that's just a test of what we believe in. It's just a test of what we commit to ensure that our citizens have the best, the very, very best of all of the promises we have given to them. And I know that the facility that we're handing over today, not only does it have an emergency service, it also caters for obstetrics and gynecology. It has a laboratory center, it has a blood bank, it has a radiology center. Of course, it takes care of pediatrics, which are the little children. It addresses family planning issues and all the immunizations that you need to have. It sits to it. And it sits in the premises, like the commissioner said, of Badagry General Hospital that is older than a whole lot of us here. A general hospital that is over 60 years old and is still kicking. And inside Badagry General Hospital, we have also brought and renovated and upgraded our school of anesthesia that has produced great number of anesthetics, including my own wife, Dr. Mrs. Sanwo-Olu. And like the commissioner said, given the issues we have, the pandemic right now, the great people that are on the front line are anesthetics and people that Commander has trained, out of this facility. They've trained over 130 doctors from what I hear, and they've trained over 65 nurses that they can stand and conduct the study and get people to sleep and wake them up when I haven't taken them to sleep. God will continue to strengthen you. The least you can do is to make sure that the environment you are doing and you are conducting that exercise is befitting and it's something that is worthy of emulation. So for us, it's really what we should be doing that we're doing. I want to thank you for all of the great works that we're doing. Part of the things that I've done, I don't need to unveil now, but because I'm excited, I'm in an hospital premises. The new Massey Children's Hospital has also been awarded, is going to come out in Lagos Island. Once we're unveiling that, you will see what new facilities will be coming to Lagos. Not only the New Mercy Children's Hospital, because we're also in the C-19 era, which we call the COVID-19, the Lagos State will also be building for the future. So an infectious disease center will also coming up at the Infectious Disease Hospital, which is ID8 in Yaba. And also we're also planning to build a proper isolation center in Yaba. So these will be some of our plans for our health facility, for our health infrastructure, for our health sector, which is an important arm on our team's agenda. They have said it, health and environment is the first H in our agenda, and we're committed to it. We're committed to ensuring that not only are we recruiting more doctors, not only are we recruiting more nurses, but we're also ensuring that the environment in which they need to practice this very noble profession is fit, is proper, and we want to stop the drain of our doctors needing to move to South Africa or to move to UK or other parts of the world. This is their home. This is where they need to practice medicine at the highest level. And the Lagos State government, using the Ministry of Health, will stop at nothing at ensuring that the health requirement of our citizens is next to none for us. And so, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and a privilege that we'll hand over today to the good people of Badagry, to my great people in Badagry, to my people that indeed have gone around. I've seen that Badagry continues to remain a strong historic cultural center that we cannot leave behind. We're coming back and we're coming great. We're seeing and will continue to see the tourism potential, the history and the culture and our history that Badagry beholds on us. And we'll say to you that we will not let those history go untouched. And so today we'll be handing over this facility to you, to your family, to your children, to your wives, to complement our modest efforts in the health sector.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has reviewed the state government's plan on coronavirus vaccine rollout and the efforts to bolster mass vaccination of residents in the state. Governor Sanwo-Olu, while disclosing on a television program strategies adopted to achieve 60% vaccination when the program commences, said the process will help to build the resilience of the state against the ravaging virus. Governor Sanwo-Olu said critical segments in the state population would be vaccinated to achieve herd immunity against the pandemic. Aside the vaccine arrangements being made by the federal government for states, the governor said Lagos, which is the epicenter of COVID-19 infection, had activated plans to augment the vaccine that would be delivered to the state. On how Lagos would get resources to fund its vaccine program, the governor said the bulk of the finances would be realized from the private sector donations and international grants, adding that the state government also had allocation for COVID-19 projects in its 2021 budget. Sanwo-Olu also said Lagos would continue to push for domestication of state policing as a strategy to efficiently combat crime and strengthen security across the state. He stressed the need to employ technology in intelligence gathering, noting that the state government was on the verge of rolling out 2,000 security cameras across communities through the Lagos State Security Trust Fund. In line with his administration's efforts to close the deficit in provision of comfortable housing scheme in Lagos State, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu this week formally opened 2 housing projects in Surulere and Etiosa axis, which were revived and completed by his administration. There are 132 units Lagos Homes projects at Ikmonri in Surulere area and 84 units Lekki Phase 2 housing project in Ikota. The governor also inaugurated and handed over a laboratory and new office complex which Lagos State government built for the National Veterinary Research Institute.
I want to tell you how truly delighted that we're here today, this morning, to commission and hand over to the good people of Etiosa and Lagosians in general this very noble attempt at ensuring that we complete the 7 blocks of 84 flats for our citizens. This is a further testimonial of our government that governance is a continuum. And when we come in, anything that appears that is in the clog of ensuring that our people receive dividends of democracy, we will remove it. And that's why very, very, very quickly we needed to take this out, take it out of the box, and hand it over to our citizens. Today, we're actually doing 3 in 1. Over the weekend, we are at the Lagos West Senatorial, where we handed over 3 projects. Today, we are also doing the same thing. We're handing over 3 projects concurrently to our citizens. There's a bigger housing one that we're going to in Iponri, and of course, there is a federal government facility which was subject of a very long litigation. And when you get there, you see that in that one, we're building another 140-something flats. But for that investment to trigger, we needed to develop something for a national institute, which we're also commissioning today. What are we saying? We're saying that the right dividends of democracy is hitting our people. We're not just talking it, we're doing it, we're actioning it, and we're handing it over. Like our KBSC said, we can be very, very creative with our financing model, and we can work a lot better when we engage also with our private sector. And this is also some of the testimonials. I can assure my chairman for the House Committee on Housing, when we've done Lagos West, we've done Lagos Central, we're coming to Lagos East, and for all of you. And we're going to still hand over a lot of housing in the Alimosho area. Egoigodo, we are coming there. And it's a large, housing community, and several others that will be touching in Ibeshe. Like I said, that will be touching in Odonosa, that will be going to, at various parts of the state that are at various levels, of completion. We will ensure that in the course of this year, we'll complete them, we'll hand them over to our citizens. We know how important a proper dwelling is to our citizens. And so this will be going into our stock of the mortgage schemes. The general manager and everybody from the mortgage homes are here. You will not need to pay the full amount of these flats. You will walk in to our mortgage offices, and we have the 2 schemes in which either you are using the rent to own, where you are paying on a monthly basis. You are a sitting landlord, but you're also on one side a tenant. So you are paying it on a rent to own so that in future you will own it fully. Or you can take a full mortgage, and on a monthly basis you are redeeming your mortgage expense on the flat. So these are the 2 models of what is available, right? And with our mortgage scheme, it will also go into the stock of our mortgage housing. I want to use this opportunity also to thank our partners, STB Mortgages, because with working with the private sector, we can do a lot more things quicker and faster. And that's why they have collaborated with us at ensuring that we complete all of this facility very, very, very soon. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to assure you that your government understands and appreciates that all of the promises we've given to you under our team's agenda are not fluke. These are things that we will be implementing and will be achieving, on each of those pillars. On transportation, on health, on education, on ensuring that Lagos takes its rightful position in the Committee of States, ensuring that security of life and property is critical, and ensuring that good governance at all times are the deliverables that we'll be talking about.
This is a clear demonstration of can-do spirit when we all surrender our individual ego, we all surrender our individual ideas to the common good of our citizens, to the common good of our country called Nigeria. As history, the chairman had said, this place has a long history behind it. But when I came in as the chief executive of LSCPC several years back, Lagos State government and the Federal Ministry of Agri, using the the National Veterinary Institute have been in legal tangle as into the use and ownership of this place. And so this was a legal issue that has been on for decades, over 10 years, and we're not making any headway. That's one. Secondly, this place was also turning to a security issue and a major security challenge for citizens around this neighborhood. It was turning to an heaven of criminals and people of criminal activity. And we realized that we cannot, in Southwest Ikoyi, have an area where we cannot point to and say that indeed it's been put to good use. And so at that time, we had an out-of-court settlement. And part of our commitment in that out-of-court settlement is to put forward this edifice. I'm indeed excited and happy that as a governor, I was able to sign off and I was able to push and ensure that LSDPC put this edifice, together for NVR. But my joy really is not only that we have done this, it's really what the chairman and the executive secretary have done. We are in a global pandemic era. We're in an era in which we're looking for solutions. We're looking for vaccines to be able to treat C-19 virus that is ravaging the entire world. And if you do not know the importance of this place, we can remember Ebola. And like I've said, there are a lot of animal-borne diseases, viruses that are happening around. And the Institute has the responsibility nationally to be able to respond to challenges like this. And they've seen that they've given us assurance that this place will be turned to their first-class laboratory that can speak to the needs of not only Lagos, but the entire nation, using Southwest as a testament. And that very quickly, they will turn this place to a regional office that will be able to help us bring about solutions, right? That can be vaccine discovery, that can be solutions discovery in the research and in the veterinary research spheres of our life. And I want to thank the Institute for that, for raising up to the responsibility that this edifice will present to you. And I want to assure you that the state government will continue to support you. The chairman had asked for a few requests. I know Malam very well. He's a comrade. And comrade, very, very, is always in them. Like there's always a last box to tick. And so, comrade, I want to assure you that very hand over the title document for this place to you, to the Institute. We will ensure that the title document is written and is given to the Institute. Secondly, like we have promised, we'll make sure that the 5,000 square meter of land that we promise you in that settlement, that the LSPC get it for you in Nigeria. I mean, these are some of the collaborations that we've talked about. But thirdly, which is a new request, is that I should also help raise funds to equip the laboratory. Mr. Chairman, Executive Director, we will do that for you. We will do it for the reasons that I've said. Apart from the fact that we need to help our citizens. This is a research institute, right? And we need research now more than ever before. Research in whatever space. COVID, people that are doing vaccine out of COVID is a function of research. And like the ED said, part of their responsibility is to be able to, bring out vaccines. And vaccines is what we're looking for. Even if the vaccine is not for COVID-19 today, it could be a vaccine for another disease that we have not seen that could come tomorrow. And so we're going to charge them. And once we fully equip it for you, NVRA, we will hold you accountable and will ensure that you put it to good use for the citizens of this nation. You put it to good use, and what the Institute is meant to do for us as a nation, you will not, you'll be able to discharge that responsibility freely, without fear. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to humbly say that we have again crossed the boundary of whatever could be dividing us. We have again put aside all of the issues around national or sub-national. And we've been able to demonstrate that when we work collaboratively, It doesn't matter. Our citizens does not know the difference between federal government, a federal agency, or a state agency. They want performance. They want us to solve solutions, to bring about solutions to be able to help them. Everybody that will be using this edifice, we're not going to ask them what part of the country they come from. We're not going to ask them what is your religion or what is your race. Everybody will have access to utilize this facility. But the flip side of it is that LSDB still has a responsibility to ensure that our own side of that joint venture is completed. And after this, I will take my other colleagues and all of you to see what we're doing at the other side. Because part of the solution is that eventually we'll be building on the land that we're using about 120 flats, for our citizens again, that will become part of our housing stock, and you'll see what I've started doing. That is a collaborative effort. So it's a win-win situation for us at the end of the day. And I'm truly excited that we've been able to do that.
The resuscitation and completion of housing projects by the Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu-led administration is a further testimony of its commitment to adding more value to the lives of Lagosians through quality service delivery in the area of infrastructure. The quality of projects delivered, which is a blueprint of its theme's agenda, simply raises the bar of good governance. And that is the size of our package on The Governor this week, but then you can continue with conversations of the Governor's activities on all these social media platforms showing on your screen. See you next week. I am Lekan, Onabanjo.